Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, September the 22nd, and it's around 12:30, 12:29. I'm going to start off with the sound saying coming from John 8:12, and it says, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. I am the light of the world. He that followeth me, shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. That means that if you're among the sons and daughters of God, you will not be walking in darkness. You will walk in the light. Okay, what does that mean when it says you won't walk in darkness? That means that you won't do things that are evil in nature. You won't compromise your moral principles. Your integrity will remain intact. We've been talking about that for a couple of days. Honesty, integrity, sincerity, all of that has to do with you walking in the light. These things are important to you. But those who walk in the darkness, they have no moral compass at all. Okay? They have no limit as to how far or what they are capable of doing. And we have this growing population that thinks this way, that walks in the darkness. Though they may be wearing sheep's clothing, they are actually wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay? So I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. The backup is coming from Revelation 26. Blessed and holy is he that has part in the first resurrection. Amen. Blessed and holy is he that has part in the first resurrection. I'm going to read a very short psalm, Psalm 61, assurance of God's eternal protection, which we all need. His protection is above the protection of man. So is his wisdom is above the wisdom of man. The wisdom of man is garbage. The wisdom of God is truth. Okay? So be very careful which ones you choose to follow. Alright? One is in light, one is in darkness. The wisdom of man is darkness. The wisdom of God is light. Alright? So it says here, this is from our beloved King David. It says, hear my cry, O God, attend to my prayer. From the end of the earth I will cry to you. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Amen. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been a shelter for me, a strong tower from the enemy. I will abide in your tabernacle forever. I will trust in the shelter of your wings, Selah. For you, O God, have heard my voice. You have given me the heritage of those who fear your name. You will prolong the king's life, his years as many generations. He shall abide before God forever. O prepare mercy and truth, which may preserve him. So I will sing praises to your name forever, that I may daily perform my voice. Okay? We were talking about integrity yesterday, honesty, and sometimes you can tell what a person is based on their actions. Just pay attention to them. Based on their words, listen to them. Based on their counseling, be careful. Alright? So we're going to read about Haman, a very wicked man indeed. And remember I said to you, this is Esther chapter 3, Haman conspiracy against the Jews. You have to be careful. I think I used the word curse a couple days ago. Not curse like curse you out. I mean curse like say something and put the word God in it. That's cursing a person. You have to be very careful of the actions you take against an individual or a group of people, because that which you do, if you are targeting a righteous man or woman, if you are targeting a righteous group, that which you attempt to do to them will only ricochet back to you. And Haman, in the story of Esther, is an excellent classic biblical example of that. Okay? And that same process plays out today in the things that people do today to harm others, to destroy the lives of others. It falls back on you 100-fold. Okay, so that skeleton that Haman had built to use against a group of people, he was the only one that got to use it. I don't know if we'll get that far today, but let's just start with his conspiracy. Huh? All right, let's begin. Forgive me because I'm reading from another Bible. The wording is different. New King James Version. And the other one I've been reading from is the New International Version. And sometimes they change the names of the individuals. So I decided to go with this one here, because we're talking about King Ahasuerus. And I like the way it's worded here. So let's begin. And this is not a very long chapter. It's only 15 verses. Yet 15 very powerful verses. And you know, sometimes your spirit is almost like your eyes. Your spirit is actually better than your eyes, because you can stand before a person and feel the evil within them. You can also stand before another person and feel their good heart nature. You can just feel the warmness of standing in their presence. But when you stand before evil, you can feel that thing. It's unmistakably evil. Okay? And this is Mordecai here. He felt the evil in Haman. He felt it. It was strong, unmistakable. And he was right. And that's how we are with people. When we meet people, we feel their spirit. Your spirit is like your eyes. Okay? It's stronger than your eyes. It feels the spirit of the other individual. If you can understand that. Try it sometimes. Or if you ever get in front of someone and you feel a little uncomfortable, it's their spirit that makes you feel uncomfortable. Even if they have a smile and they're smiling at you, you can still feel the evil within them. And when you stand before someone that is good, you can feel the good warm sensation you get when you stand before them. Okay, let's begin. After these days, King Ahasuerus promoted Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes who were with him. And all the king's servants who were within the king's gate bowed and paid homage to Haman. He was the kind of person where he loves this attention. He craved for privilege. He craved for the attention of the king and the favor of the king, to the point where he would do anything wicked to get it. Be careful what you do. Okay, that principle still applies today and forevermore. In the same way that God is still God today and forevermore. He changes not at all. Okay? And all the king's servants who were within the king's gate bowed and paid homage to Haman, for so the king had commanded concerning him. But Mordecai would not bow or pay homage. Then the king's servant who were within the king's gate said to Mordecai, "Why do you transgress the king's command?" Now it happened, when they spoke to him daily and he would not listen to them, that they told it to Haman, to see whether Mordecai's word would stand. For Mordecai had told them that he was a Jew. When Haman saw that Mordecai did not bow or pay him homage, Haman was filled with wrath. You know, a person who loves attention can't stand it when you show them no respect. Can't stand it. Okay? That's the wickedness in a person. They can't stand for you to not show them the respect they think they deserve. All right? Now, don't get this twisted. We ought to respect everyone. But we don't pay homage to everyone. We do it today to our elders. Even me at my age, I still bow to my elders. Okay? It's a sign of great respect. All right? You ought to practice too. It makes your elders feel very special. In which they are. Okay. Haman was filled with wrath, but he detained to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had told him of the people of Mordecai. Instead, Haman sought to destroy all the Jews who were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, the people of Mordecai. In the first month, which is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, he cast pearl, that is, the cloth, before Haman to determine the day and month, until it fell on the 12th month, which is in the month of Adar. Then Haman said to King Ahasuerus, "There is a certain people scattered and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of your kingdom. Their laws are different from all other people, the people of God." Of course their laws are going to be different. They're good and righteous and true. And they do not keep the king's laws. Therefore it is not fitting for the king to let them remain. If it please the king, let a decree be written that they be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver into the hands of those who do the work, to bring it into the king's treasure. So the king took his signet ring from his hand and gave it to Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, an enemy of the Jews. And the king said to Haman, "The money and the people are given to you to do with them as seem good to you." He thinks he's a good man. The king is slightly blind here. He's blind, I mean. He doesn't know the individual he has promoted. Okay, so the king took his signet from his hand and gave it to Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of the Jews. And the king said to Haman, "The money and the people are given to you to do with them as seem good to you." Then the king's scribes were called in on the 13th day of the first month, and decree was written according to all that Haman commanded, to the king, satraps, to the governors who were over each province, to the officials of all people, to every province according to its script, and to every people in their language. In the name of the king Ahasuerus it was written and sealed with the king's signet ring. And the letters were sent by carrier into all the king's province to destroy, to kill, and annihilate all the Jews, for both young and old, little children and women, in one day, on the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, and to plunder their possessions. A copy of the document was to be issued as law in every province, being published for all people that they shall be ready for that day. The carrier went out, hastened by the king's command, and the decree was proclaimed in Shushan, the citadel. So the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city of Shushan was perplexed, okay, because that was a terrible decree that came out, okay. Tomorrow I will read the bravery of our Queen Esther. You know, it is good to be brave, to be courageous. For the book said God does not give us the spirit of fear at all. And there are times when our bravery may mean that it will destroy us. We will lose our lives. In many cases, you have seen where people have become brave and did that which was brave and lost their lives. But that was because it was their duty to do so. It is your duty to stay brave because you never know when you will need just a little courage. It takes courage to tell the truth. It takes courage to say that which is difficult. It takes courage to correct that which is wrong. It takes courage to get into a battle. It takes courage to save. You can't live in this world being a coward. But you can stand being courageous. So please, choose to be courageous. Never choose to be a coward. Because cowards, what happens to cowards? They get stepped on, trampled over. What happens to brave ones? They are recognized for their actions. All right? Thank you very much for joining us here at Spiritual Water. My name is Brenda Guerrero, and as always, may the peace of God be upon you. May the protection of God surround you and all those you love. And may the will of God, not your will, for your life be manifested. Thank you for listening. Have a beautiful day. And please stay encouraged. Have a wonderful day.